Well, so I just got a couple of things I just need to announce before I really get into the main subject today of the video. And we cannot obviously, say the name of this site, so the site Rantopedia, if you're actually familiar with it, it's no longer in function anymore, so my YouTube Hall of Fame page will no longer be within the Rantopedia page. I got a cat here. Okay. So therefore, I'm actually going to be relocating the YouTube Hall of Fame video within the Wikitubia site, which I'm still under construction for it. I actually have to go back and look through all the videos that I've actually inducted every single YouTuber in the YouTube Hall of Fame. Just to be sure, though, so that way no one gets any confusion, because, like I said about what my deal with Mr. Repsion was, he's still going to be in the YouTube Hall of Fame, but that is the old Repsion that I've actually had inducted, so I don't want to be confused with him currently, because if anyone got the wrong idea, people would probably get confused about that. But other than that, I'm actually going to be making another YouTube Hall of Fame video here soon. Not exactly sure when, coming up to date, so I've got about 10 other people in mind that I'm going to be in. I'm not actually sure, but this one might be mostly gamers, I think. I could be wrong. I need to go back and review over the list. And what was my other announcement? Oh, yes. I'm also working on a Grand Theft Auto project along with the DC project that I've been telling you about, and also the Illusion project. So I'm actually swapping back and forth, trying to keep the motivation up. But I've actually been making progress on the DC project as well. I've actually got my character origins already there. So once I actually get to the first story completed, I will actually read that to you, and then I will actually read the one that I actually completed very long ago, The Wrath of Neocean, once the time is right on that. So, where to really begin now is that life for me has been pretty good, but it's been pretty tough and pretty harsh, kind of. And I'm not saying harsh as in it's very bad, because I know a lot of people go through a lot more of a difficult time than I have, so let's just say that feeling very depressed as usual, but in the most sensible way that I feel really useless. Now, if you guys remember some of the videos I made about when I took that blade and slit my wrists there, and I don't want this to give a wrong impression to anyone new watching this, because I have never done that before, but when you're feeling down into the depths and you feel like you need a release, it was one thing I was tempted to do. Like I said, that's not the kind of stuff that I do. I'm not really that, that down in the dumps when it comes to that, but it was something that I just felt like I was just too sad. I had to do something. I couldn't just sit there, just in silence. I had to do something. But off the top there, that I've been trying to do what people want me to do. And truth be told, and I will say this first, that sometimes when it comes to, looking at something, I'm not going to use work as an example, but let's say another example is that, you knew what you were supposed to do, but yet you end up doing something you weren't supposed to, and you weren't using your head. Now, I know there are times where I've been making excuses, and I have, and it's not really. I hear the dogs barking upstairs, and Monkey is messing with my camera. All right, Monkey, I've got to make my video. I'll pet you here in a little bit, but apart from that, I just been feeling very, very down, and I've always been in fear that if I do something wrong, I'm always going to get that bad consequence of some sort. And now Wheezy is now sitting in front of my camera. Don't panic, that's my washing machine. Wheezy, I love you too, but I need to actually finish my video here too. I'll pet you two here in a minute, alright? Okay. But I just don't know. It's not like I intentionally F up on certain things, and I'm not going to reference them. But it's like being told many times, over and over again. And it's like feeling that despite your best efforts, I don't know. I don't know if there's something wrong with me, or if there's... Okay, I love you, monkey. Wait, you gotta go that way. Come on, I need to finish. But I don't know. I just don't know if there's a solution. I don't know whether if I should see a therapist. I don't know whether... I don't know. I've had so many problems. I've had so many issues. And truth be told, I had this project I made where I actually had a collage of all the people I met before, which I haven't finished yet, so I'm still working on that. But I made that because it's something that cheers me up, and it helps me it reminds me of everyone. But I even got my cats and my dogs in that too. But within that poster there was about 3, which now 5. There were 5 people that I put on that. There were people that I love so much. And for a fact, obviously, I'm not going to see them again. They're not coming back. They're gone. They passed on. And when I look at these people that I've met, very great friends and family that I've met in my lifetime, I look at myself. And I see myself as dumb, retarded, very much one who can't get his head out of his ass, that sort of thing. No, I'm not referring... If anyone's getting ideas, it's not about, life itself. I'm just saying, when it comes to certain things, when you're trying to do something and you end up fucking up. No intentions. It's about when you end up fucking something up, and then you have to live under fear and the consequence of when that person has to get on to you for it. You feel dumb. You feel worthless. You feel you're just a liability. I don't know. Not to get off the record, but I've said this before on my Facebook, and I've said this before to people that I knew, that I had this dream once that when I walked out of this building, I realized it was actually the old high school I used to go to back in Texas. But the difference between all of this was that the sky was black, there was snow everywhere across a small patch, across a small field, a couple acres. And then, in the distance was the neighborhood where I used to live. I lived over on the horizon point of the hill. My house was a little bit past that, so I couldn't even see it. But the difference between all that was that, the snow was kind of falling, at a moderate kind of speed. And I remember walking down in that snow and on the icy paved way, walking to the left, noticing all these, white, red, and green lights scattered across the neighborhood, like if they were Christmas lights. And I remember walking down, and then at a certain point walking down that sidewalk, I felt this bottled emotion of pure sadness and sorrow build up within me. I felt it was so much for me to feel that. I felt like I was actually crying, walking down there, noticing that I was home. I love you too, monkey. I gotta finish real quick. I'll be right there. But when I was walking down that street, monkey, come here. When I was walking down that street, though, I began crying. And, when walking down, I felt like it felt so real to me. I didn't want to wake up. That's the scary thing. That's the sad, dark thing about what I was dreaming. I felt like I was home. I didn't want to wake up. But as reality had other plans for me, I still had to think to myself, to say if I really died, or ended myself there, and if I was to ever remain there, if that was what home felt like, if that's how life for me ended, if I was supposed to be in that place for the rest of my life, whether if I could reach the house, it would still feel pretty selfish to me. And I'm not saying, as a fact, that suicide is selfish. I'm saying that there are people that love you so much, and they would do anything for you. I know the friends that I've made would do anything, for me, and I'm very humble to have such great friends and family that done so much for me, that looked out for me. And I know there's a certain person, and I'm not really trying to bring this back up to the past, but if she is ever watching this, and I'm not referring to the one I had in this episode, I'm talking about someone else completely different, that I've credited that other person more than you. If she is ever watching this, I wanted to say I put you on that because, you were right. I shouldn't have, I do believe that you should have been treated more fairly than when I actually treated you back in high school. But getting off track. But sometimes I felt like I really just wanted to stay there. But at the same time, when I felt sad, I felt happy. And how does any of this have any, connection to why I feel dumb and all that? Because sometimes I just want to escape this reality. Feeling this way, feeling dumb, feeling like you're not the bright bulb, feeling useless. But when I feel like I was in that place, I feel like there was just a home right there. Like it was just calling out for me. But reality had other plans. So I don't know how I'm going to keep dealing with this. I want to go home so bad. Escape this nightmare and clusterfuck of hospitality that's Las Vegas. Never ever to go back into Jonesboro, Arkansas, despite the good friends that I've actually made there as well. That would probably be the only exception I would ever go back. But as for everything else, I would never, ever, not even an ounce, not even an inch, not even a crumb of feeling within me would tell me to ever go back. But also here, if I were to leave Las Vegas, I would never, ever come back. I would never consider it. I would never even consider it an option, even if my life depended on it. But truth be told, in the whole general part of life, I don't want to be this dumbass. I don't want to be this dull bulb. It's not who I want to be. Who I want to really be? I want to be an artist. I wanted to be a musician. I wanted to be a wrestler, for God's sakes. I wanted to own my own pizza shop, my own pizza parlor. Something like that. And I'm not saying that's impossible. I don't believe it's impossible for me. In fact, I know I can do it, but that's not the problem. The problem is what I'm having is just feelings. Feelings of feeling dumb. Feeling useless. Feeling like I'm just some sort of trash to just be taken out and never seen again. Nothing to do with issues at the house. Nothing like that. It's just feeling this way with people around me. So that's all the time I have. So I don't know where I go from here. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later. You guys have a wonderful night.